on my lane, you all on my lane. You ain't overlooked, so get out the way. I gave you the book, I gave you the game. The boy gotta cook, the boy got a flame, Serving in the kitchen like you Nino. Plenty bitchin', whipping different flavors like a bistro. Kick it, dip it, flip it, keep it hunting like a C-note. Switch and keep it pimpin' every single place that he go. I got it. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Boy, you know the name, get up out the way. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Stay up out the kitchen if you ain't the one that's whipping, huh? Hey, yo, Lathan, man, cook them boys up something real quick, man.
What's going on, Bistro family? Welcome back to my channel. Now today we got the most amazing brown butter cake batter chocolate chip cookies. So the first thing you do is get you 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and you can sift that. Then we're gonna get a cup of packed dark brown sugar and granulated sugar, 2 large eggs. All right, followed by them 2 large eggs, we got 2 teaspoons of baking soda. All right, from that 2 teaspoons of baking soda, we got a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We got 2 sticks of sweet cream unsalted butter. Then we're going to use half of this Hershey's chocolate bar. We're going to just cut it up because we want this and we want chocolate chips in there. So we want it to look extra good. All right, then we got 3 extracts. We got vanilla extract, and that's pure vanilla extract. Then we got some cake batter extract. That's what's giving us our cake batter feature. And then we got some butter extract. All right, once you get to this point, you're going to go ahead and pop your 2 sticks of butter into a pan and begin to brown it. Now, do not burn this butter, just brown it. All right, while that butter is browning, go ahead and get your sugar mixed up. And then we're going to add that brown butter directly into the sugar and begin to cream it. And we're going to do all this by hand. So if you don't have a mixer, stand mixer, hand mixer, you can still make this recipe because we're going to do everything completely by hand. So only tool you'll need is a nice bowl and a spatula. All right, begin to cream that butter and sugar together, and just until it's well incorporated and you don't see any of the granules in the from the sugar. All right, once you get to this step, you're going to add your cake batter extract, then your vanilla extract, and then we added our butter extract in there. You don't have to do it in them orders, but that's the order I did it. And I added about a teaspoon each of the extracts. You don't have to add a lot because a little will go a long way, especially with these 3 flavors we got here. So you got the butter on top of the butter, then you got the cake batter, and then you got the vanilla just to bring everything home. All right, once you get to this step, you're going to go ahead and begin to add your eggs to the mixture. And I'm adding the eggs in one at a time, and go ahead and get that mixed in. All right, once you get both of the eggs mixed in, we're going to add the salt in there. Now, you could put the salt with the dry ingredients, but I didn't. I wanted to add it into my wet ingredients and just get everything mixed into the wet ingredients when it comes to the salt. All right, so that's my second egg going in, and I'm going to get that well incorporated before I begin to add the salt. And then once I add the salt, I'm going to mix that up, and then I'm going to begin to add my flour. Now, you could add your flour in all together, but I think it's better if you break it up. Usually I do a 3-part adding it in, but I was kind of in a hurry tonight, so I just broke it up into 2 parts. So I added half of the flour in at once. You'll see it here. And then I got that well incorporated, had everything mixed in, and then I added the other half of the flour in there. Now, don't worry about overworking this batter because we are going to let this hang out in the fridge for about 30 minutes, preferably overnight, just to let the gluten relax, and which would yield into a more tender cookie if you just let this hang out in the fridge. And also, it'll get the butter and stuff and the sugar back hard, so it won't just melt on the baking tray. All right, so I'm adding my second batch of flour in there, and that's regular all-purpose flour. Remember, we add our own leavening agent, which was baking soda, into this mix. So you didn't need like self-rising flour or anything like that. Just make sure when you use flour, you're using some good all-purpose flour for the recipe. And that was great value all-purpose flour, by the way. Shout out to Walmart. If y'all hear me out here, give your boy an endorsement deal. I need that. All right, then we're going to go ahead and add our chocolate chips in there. And I did about a cup of chocolate chips and half of that chocolate bar. Now, My ratio was kind of off a little bit, so you're gonna see after I get all this well combined, I'm gonna add a little bit more chocolate chips because I want these things to be extra good and decadent and full of chocolate. So you could control that how you want to, but you'll see it. I didn't want to be stingy with the chocolate chips, especially when I got a whole bag sitting there in front of me. So yeah, so I'm getting everything incorporated. Like I said, no mixer at all. Everything I did here is by hand. And we added a few more chocolate chips just to make it look full. All right. Once we get all those mixed good and mixed in, we're gonna go ahead and pop I pop plastic wrap over this container. If you got a lid for your container, pop a lid on there and let it hang out in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Like I said, preferably 24 hours hanging out in the fridge wouldn't hurt these cookies at all. And you can even freeze these cookies and cook them from the frozen state. But the whole thing about letting it rest is letting that sugar and butter get back hard, and also giving that gluten time to relax, because we're really working it here, especially since we're working it with a spoon, well, with a spatula, really working it, so you're giving it a chance to set up and relax, and which will equal into a more tender and perfect cookie just by hanging out, letting it rest. All right, we're gonna pop the top off of that. It's good and firm. And I'm using an ice cream scoop here. You can use your hand with a spoon, and I'm just making them even. And we're gonna pop it into a 375-degree oven for anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. Just make sure you watch it in your oven, because some ovens cook quicker, and I don't want you to burn your cookies. I think mine stayed in the oven a little bit too long, so my next go around I will cook them a little bit shorter. So that's why I'm giving you a ratio between 12 to 15 minutes, but they were still good and tender, so I wasn't worried about it. All right, we got some flaky sea salt that we're gonna pop out, sprinkle on the cookies as soon as they come out of the oven. And you just want that salt to stick to them cookies, and that extra salty note will just make this cookie so much sweeter and so much more delicious. I highly suggest you add that on. But yeah, there you have it, man. The most amazing brown butter cake batter chocolate chip cookies from the Bistro. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Brown butter cake batter chocolate chip cookies. I see you guys on the flip side, which is next week. I'm out.